beat.
That's right, that's right. And I do love to see Koji also. He's got the awesome costume on. We're getting into this winners finals to kick this bad boy off. Such a cool character, such an awesome, hard to hit, quick damage racking up type character, but you know, it's got a glass jaw, an easy character to take out.
Yeah, no, that's the perfect way to put it. That glass jaw, indeed, just you crack him once and he's going to fall to shambles in pieces on the ground. He can be so hard to hit. And just look how quick his attacks come out, and that's a tribute to the amount of dexterity he has. But man, does it make it so hard being the person on the other end of that and trying to punish him.
Exactly. It's like, you know, you can take him out if you can touch him, but for some reason he's just moving around. He is the Flash, and trying to guard on the edge right now was not able to complete the sequence to take the stock, but there's a lot of damage on Vortex right now, and Vortex is going to have to make something happen with these gauntlets. I like the combinations they're putting together, just not making hard enough reads on the dodges is what I'm seeing so far, but it's the beginning of the game, right? You can't go too hard. Got to feel them out.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. You really just kind of have to reset the same scenarios over and over and try to get a read off of your opponent's habits. Which way is he going every time I sidelight? Which way is he going every time I go for a neutral air? And then eventually you'll put it all together and you'll make something beautiful.
Yeah, and when people use it correctly, goodness gracious, the neutral actually going to take that stock, and that's one thing we weren't saying. That character right there is also got a glass jaw, so we got two featherweights out here on the board getting KO'd by basic stuff like that.
Yeah, and the good thing is, like, Koji definitely a little bit lighter on the board. Val on the other end actually has like a fair amount more thickness to her than Koji does. So then it's like, all right, Val should in theory be living a little bit longer, but Tiger, you know, seemingly making it feel like completely same happenstance here with the amount of damage he's able to get in there.
Yeah, Val isn't Jiro, right? But it's not the highest tier of defense. But right now, just gonna get some nice combinations put together. Got a tied game, trying to guard on the edge. Very good read on the jump right before Vortex came up to attack. And Tiger's just racking it up right now. Look at that. Nice combination, but what in the world? Missed the down air and still was able to get a neutral, just racking up more and more damage. Off the side, what are we gonna get?
And I love the options that Vortex is going for here. Every time he has the gauntlets in hand and he goes for a neutral air, he has to make a choice of which direction am I going to send him? Am I going to send him off stage, or am I going to try to throw him back on stage for a combo? And you saw that time he was like, you know what? I think I want to take him off the stage and go for a bigger, riskier play.
Yeah, didn't really chase on it, didn't capitalize, but, you know, you put somebody off the edge, it kind of just gives you that time to relax and reassess neutral, right? Just what are we going to do after this? Even if you don't go for the chase, throwing them off the side is a good option.
Taking a look, I mean, Tiger, this second stock from both of these players, Vortex doing an immaculate job of hanging on as well, missing that conversion. That would have been death. Missed it a second time right there. Doesn't get the D-Light into recovery, and Vortex has to be hurting a little bit because he should be in the lead right now. Tiger, though, might be able to pull out an edge guard here.
Almost. After that gravity cancel D-Light, I was looking for a Sayer. That would have been the one to get that stock for for Vortex. But right now, it's just both players on the edge of death, and Tiger is going to be able to take the stock and take a lead. It's just going to be one touch. Just sneeze on him. He's out of here. Just can't really get touched too many times right now.
And Tiger with the drip. That bow is the cleanest thing I've ever seen. Vortex saying, stop looking at Tiger and look at me, because I want to be the star of the show here. As we wind down into the final stocks of game one, Vortex with superior positioning. Decent amount of damage, but needs to get back down to the ground.
Yeah, we're looking for it. You're making me look at that bow, man. It looks like it's got blades on the end. That thing is sick. But we're trying to see some sick combos, see if we can string it together and take this game. Vortex is going to want to really put these gauntlets to use in this last stock and maybe just steal it before Tiger gets to settle in and really get to work him in this neutral like he's doing right now.
Oh, that down air might have spelled death. Vortex,
oh,
the air dodge
almost.
up, man, just to sneak through. There's going to be a chance potentially for a comeback. Has a weapon now and pretty good positioning on the stage. Throws it away with that gravity cancel end light, but not a huge punish from Tiger. What a read!
Ooh.
Vortex, this could be it for Tiger.
That's it!
He doesn't have enough.
He didn't have the dodge anymore. Didn't have the dodge anymore, and I guess he didn't realize one of his jumps were snatched, so he didn't really touch the ground before he got hit with that forward sig, and that is going to spell the game 1-0 going in the favor of Vortex. My goodness.
Yeah, and that's just the difference between Tiger not getting that edge guard or not, right? If
Yes.
Vortex hadn't gotten that chance to make it back on stage and grab those gauntlets, Tiger would not have even have been in that position. So Tiger's definitely probably like, wow, man, I kind of let him snatch one from me. I need to clean it up as we go into game 2, and I'm confident he can. He hasn't been the champion this long for nothing.
That's right. That's right. Tiger can definitely do it. Look, he's got the gold blade out, the chosen one. Gonna go up against a fire hydrant in the hands of Val. But I mean, got to give credit to Vortex. Vortex really did the thing to secure that game. Very solid play, right? Like we've seen a lot of aggressive play tonight in the Australian region. A lot of high risk plays. Tried to go for it there here in SEA, but it didn't work out. But that first game was very calm and concise from both players.
No, and I have to agree. Even their weapon skins talk about the way they want to play their characters, right? The fire extinguisher in the hands of Vortex saying, I'm going to brute force my way with a blunt object to victory, whereas Tiger, you know, a little bit more calculated, a little bit more calm. You can even see it in the way that they're playing. Vortex is running forward, and he does not slow down.
Man, Vortex is piecing it up right now. He had a big-time health deficit, but really got their way back into this game. Nice unarmed challenge from Tiger to try to stay in this. Throws another one, doesn't get punished for it, and now we have an unarmed on the side of Vortex.
Here we go, Vortex waiting for the weapon. He gets the sword here. And the thing is, I feel like, you know, despite the fact that Tiger's the one playing Koji, you know, a legend that can kind of throw out more attacks more rapidly, I feel like Vortex has been probably throwing out more attacks than Tiger has this game.
I definitely agree. Vortex is being very, very aggressive. And that's, you know, that's one of the many strategies you can have against Koji, right? If you control neutral and you're the one throwing out all the buttons, they don't give him a chance to be swift and strike you to death. I mean, that's a good look. But still going to lose the first stock no matter how many buttons were thrown out in that first life. And going to have to take this one quick.
And that's the kind of the disadvantage of when it gets to those high damage scenarios where either you or opponent can get KO'd. You can kind of feel like, I'm still the person throwing out attacks, and you try to wind back a little bit, but you can still find yourself getting caught. And that's what happened to Vortex there. But despite that, able to go ahead and secure that stock and bring the stock lead, or rather the stock count, back to even.
Man, Vortex tried to throw the weapon of steel, but Tiger was able to get it back right there. And there we go. Vortex able to get a weapon really, really fast. Nice way to secure and keep up this pressure. Tried to go for the gusto with the ground pound, but just a perfect dodge from Tiger to get his way out of that situation.
And you see, something like that is what shows you that Vortex is a tricky player. Everyone knows when you get hit by that nair right there, the jump down air is guaranteed, and a lot of players won't even be pressing the dodge button because they expect you to go for the guaranteed option. But Vortex went for that ground pound, tried to get a very sneaky early kill, but Tiger was rewarded for being aware.
Very, very aware. That was a hard defensive read, and that is going to lead to him having the lead big time right now. My goodness. And sitting on orange, I think this is actually the biggest lead we've seen in this set so far. Having just orange while you take a stock from the other. They've both been on hot red when they take a stock as of so far.
Here we go, Tiger. You know, saying, hey, I need to get myself a game on the board here, in a pretty good spot to go ahead and take it. But the Val Nutrisig coming out from Vortex, probably going to see quite a few more of those. Definitely her best sword sig and extremely hard to punish. And you combine that with the rest of the sword kit, the gravity cancel, delight recovery becomes that much more potent of an option because you're waiting for that Nutrisig.
That's right. Very good pressure on the side of Vortex to get that stock out of there. But right now, eating that freebie damage before he can get back into the game. And I'm loving these neutral lights, right? Throw him down and make him guess the situation, but not really capitalizing. The Sig almost hit. That actually could have been game.
And this is how you can tell that Vortex is once again a kind of like ride or die type player, going for these gravity cancel D-lights, even though if he gets hit without his dodge, it can be extremely detrimental. But you can see when he just decides to go for the very confident play, it can definitely pan out as he just gets so many unanswered hits from Tiger. Tiger barely hung on in that game.
That was kind of crazy. I didn't see it happening like that. I actually thought Vortex was on a run and was going to be able to take that one, but Tiger, the mental fortitude, stood strong and was able to take that game. And look at that right there, scooped right under the bottom, stopped the edge guard on the replay from Tiger. Tiger with the weapon toss. It's like it doesn't matter how much you take away from him. If you give him that small little inch, he's going to take a mile.
That's what makes him so scary, right? That's why he's been a top contender for so long. He does not tend to crack under pressure, and I think, you know, I don't think that's really a disputable fact. Just look at his trophy cabinet, you know, like it's pretty extensive. So I was like, all right, well, we kind of knew that, but it's a moment like that that really shows you the difference between, you know, losing and being down 2-0 or being 1-1. Oh,
went for the gusto, but able to touch the wall is Tiger, and Tiger fighting back. Man, how do you just have the confidence? I mean, I guess it's a do or die situation, but the way he approached that recovery was dizzle.
Oh man, nah, you definitely said it right. I mean, boom, there goes one. Vortex feeling, I'd argue, quite a bit more comfortable on this stage, and that's kind of another thing about Small Enigma that can make the difference between like a good player and a great player is how comfortable they are maneuvering around a tri-platform layout. Really sets a cut above, you know, this stage for other people in comparison to other players.
That is actually a really big deal. I don't think people pay attention to that a lot in platform fighters. Man, you put those triple plats out there and you got to be a completely different type of player. It's a whole different type of game plan and movement across the map, right?
100%. You can dash one way and then dash off the corner, and you'll get a completely different momentum boost as a movement option that you just don't have on other stages. You combine that with a cheeky sig, and you can really, really confuse people. But just like that, Tiger's able to respond back, has himself back in the game, has quite a bit of a damage deficit, but you know, once again, it's Koji. He's going to be able to shoot out those rapid attacks and rack up damage fairly quickly.
I'm liking that Vortex is deciding to stay away right now, trying to get the weapon, and what a quick snatch, able to get the weapon, right? Only took maybe 2 hits, and that's what you want to do. Like, he could have just fought unarmed, but sometimes you take too much damage, and that's too much of a risk, especially when you have a good lead like this.
Oh wow, and gets
nice catch
on the down air. Yeah, that's crazy, because down air and neutral air from Sword are one of those moves that you don't get punished for. You throw that out, you know it's pretty safe. But oh my gosh, Tiger just sudden switch of aggression there, catching me unaware, and Vortex dropping the potential KO right there with a delay recovery. Tiger meaning that he gets another chance to rack up some damage.
That was such a nice little combo to take that stock. Just caught him trying to leak back up on the stage. I think he was probably looking for maybe a jump Sayer, but he just caught him slipping. Caught him right there on the ground. Grounded. Oh my gosh! Tried to go for the aggressive, get you out of here quick. And that is kind of the things you want to do when you're playing somebody like Tiger with the comeback capabilities he has.
Yeah, but you know, in this scenario, already got him in the light yellow on his final stock. Vortex definitely has a decent chunk more life to this stock, I believe. I mean, Koji won't be able to KO with the SIG at this range. You know, we'll get him off stage, but won't be able to KO with a SIG. Maybe now if it's like a sword side SIG, but still, the bow down SIG you kind of have to watch out for now, because in the corner, it'll certainly KO now.
Very good movement. That little short hop right over the D-light from Tiger. And Vortex is trying to close this bad boy out. The punishes are there every time. Punish right back from Tiger. We're going to get a weapon swap. Is that what you wanted? Okay. Wow. That was actually gorgeous. That was beautiful.
So now Tiger, you know, in a pretty good spot to try to bring this back. No weapon, weapon starved, potentially no, doesn't get that final hit. Vortex just goes for the ground pound. This could be so bad. Ooh, oh my gosh, Tiger.
And that's going to be the turnaround from Vortex.
Man, Tiger had, he was sniffing something out there. You could kind of see it. He was like, had Vortex off stage, clearly had superior positioning, and was making what seemed like the right decisions for a while up until one moment. And that's when Vortex just struck.
Man, that dodge, they just showed it on the replay again, man. That dodge was perfection. Pinpoint any sooner or any later, and you, sir, were a goner. Perfect. Kudos to Vortex for that defensive movement straight into the offensive KO.
But now we have a little bit of something different here, right? We have Brawlhalla, so got quite a bit of no room. You know, you guys got to get up close and personal on this stage if y'all trying to scrap. And on top of that, we have Tiger on the Brynn.
Yeah, I like the Brynn switch. I feel like this is the Tiger character, right? His Koji's very, very, very good, but when he switches to Brynn, it's business. It's all business.
God.
Look at it. You know what I mean? I call it getting tinked up when you're getting hit by the axe consecutively.
100%.
You know what I mean? He's getting tinked up. Oh my gosh.
What do you do? Oh my gosh. Perfect response. We're seeing perfect axe play, honestly, here. Tiger kind of getting unanswered here. That Enlight, the last thing he's been hit by in probably the past 30 seconds. And I don't know. You keep playing like that, and that's going to be a really bad time for Vortex. I don't think Vortex was expecting this crazy axe. Tiger, he's doing great.
Yeah, it's the accuracy, man. It's the accuracy. It's just so on point. Look at that. I'm popping you. If you try to come through, I know when to move back. And just being so worried about it, Vortex got a touch and just backed off, didn't decide to go for anything, but beautiful pickup and even the game up while I'm talking, you know what I mean? I'm thinking Vortex is being shy, and Vortex went to the meet and greet and taught him how to get off the stage.
No, I'm saying, Vortex, I mean, staying ever resilient in their playstyle, always running first, always going for these hard, crazy reads, and sometimes, you know, finding great success.
That's right. I love how Tiger did an attack and didn't decide to spot dodge. He just dodged backwards, just dashed backwards and punished. And it just knew there was going to be no follow-up from Vortex. That is a read of all reads. The Sair into the weapon toss, that's going to be the end of that stock. That was quick work from this beautiful Brynn of Tigers.
And yeah, I gotta say, Tiger, if you had your back against the rope, right? You're down 2-1, and you're like, man, what is the decision I need to make to give me the highest chance of winning? I think that you definitely cashed out right here with this Brynn pick. I don't think this was a terrible pick by any means. This axe play is amazing, and you picked right, kid.
Yeah, definitely picked right. Chasing him down, tried to hit the Sair. The neutral from Vortex is going to be a good look. Popped him, that was an aggressive recovery right there. Just got back on the stage, popped him straight in his mouth. My goodness. Trying to take this over, but going to lose the stock after doing some very, very good damage. Vortex is on the brink of death. Going to have to see what you can do. I like how you're trying to weapon starve him a little bit and try to get some damage. Don't let him get that axe back, or you're going to be looking at a problem.
Okay, and Vortex, you know, these are gauntlets. You get them off stage, it can go very poorly. You can already see Vortex going for the nair, saying, hey, if I can just get him below me, I can win the game right now, right? Always going for these cheeky, risky plays, even that read right there again. And that's what makes him so scary. But Tiger does find the anti-air in the D-light and says, you know what? I'm not going to risk anything. Instead of going for this air, goes for the recovery to KO him off the top.
Yeah, put out the giant hitbox, right? Made sure it was broad enough. If you dodge up, if you dodge a little bit to the side diagonally, you're just not going to get out of the way of it. Perfect read from Tiger. Tiger with that throw off the side, man. It's always good to see a well-placed weapon throw, especially knowing that the person doesn't have a dodge. It's just high IQ play right there.
Yeah, and especially like you go for that D-light, and a lot of people, I don't know, sometimes when you go for the recovery conversion, sometimes you don't get it true. Like sometimes it's like there's like a 1 dodge frame window, 2 dodge frame window, and you're like, dang, but the fact that the hitbox is so big, it covers wherever they dodge anyway, like you were saying earlier. So it's just like, it's such a good tool to have in your arsenal.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just a rank boy myself, and that weapon itself just drives me absolutely insane. But it ain't about me. It's about Tiger and Vortex, and we're going in this next game, and they're both swinging, going hammer time to try to get this first stock and get an early lead.
Oh, Vortex, you know, still hunting, man. Like, I've never seen a player smell blood quite the way Vortex does. Just even stutter stepping with the movement to really try and get the spacing just right. You can see just how much their positioning on the map matters to them. And that's what makes these players so great, right? They're just so good at trying to take every little advantage they can to get ahead of their opponent. And in a moment like that, it pays off for Vortex.
Yeah, that was a beautiful sequence to take that stock. But, I mean, as you were saying about the movement, I try to tell people when they're learning this game, my brother thinks, like, you know, he's like, I don't understand how you can be very good at Brawlhalla because there's not too much in the game. It's all about movement. That's what this game is about. You know, there's small combos here and there, but when your movement turns into schmovement, that's when you become one of these tournament gods.
That's exactly facts, man. And people will go to the hyperbolic time chamber and just grind movement for hours. Like, it's one of those skills that is that important. And right there, we're gonna speak of the lack of movement from Vortex because unfortunately they weren't able to get back onto the stage there. But it's okay. They do have a little damage lead.
Yeah, got a little bit on there. The neutral is almost gonna tie that bad boy up, but nice weapon toss. I'm liking the use of weapon throws from Vortex. Vortex has actually been doing that since game 1 and been pretty pinpoint on landing the throw and getting the weapon back. Look at it, just back to back to back. And not really gonna guard too tough. Tried to go for the gusto, wasn't gonna be able to land it. And now let's see if Tiger can turn this around because he's eating so much damage sitting on bright red.
That's the thing about Vortex. Vortex is the kind of player that's always going to go for that, but they always sneak it in at these what seems like inopportune moments that they always catch their opponent sleeping so they don't get punished for it.
Yeah, my goodness, the accuracy catch. I like how Vortex keeps doing that sig right after every knockdown, right? At first I was like, what is that? Is that like for a positioning or what are you doing? That's low-key a taunt.
You know, everyone got their little thing they got to do in between the stocks.
Right?
I'm wondering, man, because Vortex kind of has Tiger on the ropes here. I mean, up a full stock. Tiger probably needs an axe and like some of that pristine play we saw on that earlier game on Brawlhalla, or otherwise it's going to be curtain to them in the winner's side of bracket, and Vortex is going to have a guaranteed top 2 spot.
Well, we talked about the movement earlier, and obviously movement is a huge part of neutral, and I think that movement and neutral has been very dominant from Vortex this game. His weapon throws are controlling the spacing of where Tiger can really move, and here we go, getting some good damage. Wow, that hit from the backside. Tried to throw a sig out, but Vortex was smart enough to not step forwards into it. Waited, didn't really get a punish, but we're still moving around here, getting some good hits. The chase going down from Vortex, trying to close this bad boy out.
That's the thing about Crystal Temple, is that sometimes the movement on this stage can feel a little bit sticky because of how low the platforms are. And so just like that, you know, you can find, it seems like Tiger is almost stuck in the mud, you know, trying to get out, and Vortex is just capitalizing, seemingly more comfortable with the stage in general. Tiger almost throwing it all away right there, one hit away from almost certain death. Oh, maybe one more.
My goodness. And I talked about the sig being the taunt, but here's the actual taunt, the old disco dance, the V in front of the eyes, and now we're hitting the break dance. And my goodness, Vortex with some beautiful play going into the next round. That sends Vortex to grand finals, am I wrong?
You are correct. That
Come on now.
Send Vortex
Ding,
to
ding,
grand. Wow, so you know, you were about to punch your ticket, man. We were talking about when is Tiger gonna lose, right? When is Tiger gonna lose? And right now in grand finals, Vortex is sitting in there, right? But to my knowledge, this wouldn't be the first time Tiger has gotten knocked out in winners finals, but I'm pretty sure he's